Hello everybody, I am Daniel Clemens, the HEMA Vtuber. The subject of today's video is a movie that is incredibly important to the field of historical European martial arts. It is my opinion that without this movie, HEMA as we know it today might not have actually come about. That movie is, of course, The Princess Bride from 1987. This swashbuckler romance action comedy includes a scene that I personally think might have inspired more people to take up HEMA than any other fictional sword fight. I'm of course talking about the fight between Inigo Montoya and the Dread Pirate Wesley on top of the Cliffs of Insanity. Unfortunately, I am not actually able to show this scene for fear of getting a copyright strike, but I can sum it up to get to my real point. After a brief opening exchange, Inigo and Wesley start name-dropping historical fencing masters as a way for the film to show that they are worldly men who have studied the blade and read all the books. The four masters named are Bonetti, Capoferro, Tybalt, and Agrippa. Of these four fencing masters, only Bonetti is actually given a specific technique in the line, "Aha, I see you're using Bonetti's defense against me." This would imply that Bonetti's defense is a specific technique that is not used by either Capoferro, Tybalt, or Agrippa. This brings me to my actual point. You see, we don't know any of Bonetti's actual techniques. He never wrote a book because he was killed in a duel in front of his fencing school. But I have a theory. I think I know what Bonetti's defense would have actually looked like. I know what you're thinking. It is not, in fact, inconceivable. While we don't have any writings from Bonetti himself, we do have writings from some of his contemporaries. And I believe that we can put these together to paint a picture of what Bonetti's fencing style might have looked like. The first one that I'd like to mention is the writings of George Silver. In his 1599 book, Paradoxes of Defense, George Silver outlines why he believes the Italian rapier to be an insufficient weapon in personal defense. One of his most frequently cited proofs of this is that Italian fencing masters need to tell their students to wear gloves of chainmail or even steel gauntlets to protect themselves. If you've ever read any works by Capoferro or Giganti, this is going to seem very odd, because those guys seem to be of the opinion that you did not need to wear anything to protect yourself while you were using a rapier. So why are Italian English fencing masters instructing their students to wear gloves of chainmail or even gauntlets? Any rapier fencer would tell you that wearing a gauntlet is going to make fencing with a rapier much harder than it should be. Well, as it turns out, the answer to that is in Vincenzio Saviolo's His Practice in Two Books. To quote Saviolo, "Having the use of your left hand, and wearing a gauntlet or glove of mail, your enemy shall no sooner make a thrust, but you shall be ready to catch his sword fast, and so command him at your pleasure. Wherefore I wish you not to defend any thrust with the sword, because in so doing you lose the point." So in actuality, in English-Italian rapier fencing, you are not supposed to wear the glove on the hand holding the sword. You need to wear the added protection on your offhand, and you use that to deflect any sword thrusts instead of using the forte of your sword. And it is my opinion that if any technique is going to be referred to as Bonetti's defense, this is that technique. Using the reinforced glove on your left hand as an extra shield, rather than using the strong of your weapon against the weak of your enemy's weapon. And thus we come to our conclusion. When Inigo Montoya says the famous line, "Ah, you are using Bonetti's defense against me," what he is saying is that he has seen that Wesley is about to use his gloved hand to slap away Inigo's next thrust. And we don't see that in the film because Wesley knows that Inigo knows that he is going to use that technique, so he doesn't use it. Thank you very much for watching. I am Daniel Clemens, the HEMA Vtuber. And if you have ever used any Princess Bride quotes in your HEMA practice, like and subscribe.